Welcome, kings and queens. Today we are talking love and marriage, Huntsville. I see what Carlos King was attempting to do in this episode, but I kind of feel like we veered so far off course that he still has a lot of work to do. It's going to take more than one episode to get things back in a positive manner. I understand that he wants to reel us back in with a hint of positivity, but the problem is you allowed it to go too far, Carlos. But I will cover that in a separate video. Remember when I did the psychological breakdown of why the cast appears to hate Melody? I had a lineup. I had 6 people and I ranked them. And some of you questioned why Tiffany was placed in the lineup. Now you know. Now you know. Based on Saturday's episode, now you understand. I hone in on the not so obvious, and Tiffany's a hater. This episode depicted that really quickly. Did y'all notice when it started off? This was just like my observation. I feel like Tiffany looked really tired and worn out on this episode for some reason. I'm not really sure what's going on behind the scenes in her real life, but she appeared to be tired. Overall, I feel like Tiffany does not care for Melody at all, and anytime she gets a chance to take a dig, she takes it. I have yet to see her give Melody the benefit of the doubt when Melody is not around. Because as a friend, it doesn't matter what you say when I'm there. What I really want to know is what you're saying when I'm not around. Okay? I don't know. Tiffany, a true friend waits before making any facial judgments because she uses her face to keep it safe. So technically, I really didn't say anything about Melody. No, but your face did. For those of you who are just tuning in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the behavioral and the psychological traits of the Black experience.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill.
All right, so we're going to start with Destiny first. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to start with Destiny. But before I do, I just want to give a huge thank you to the reparationists for the CashApp. That was a very pleasant surprise. As a matter of fact, it's my first CashApp. So thank you very much. I was not expecting that. I love surprises. I am truly grateful. So thank you. Make sure y'all tune in on Thursday. We are having a live panel, a live show on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we are going to talk about if women are better off single. And the panel is fire. Yes, we have reality TV personalities. We have entertainment manager. We have a TV producer that has worked with Bravo, TV1, and HGTV. I'm sorry. We have a YouTube personality. Just a panel of real life women living out loud. So make sure you tune in for that. But let's get back to Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Let's jump in. I'm going to start with Destiny. Carlos King, in the interest of well-being, if you care about this girl, let her go. Let Destiny go so that she can clean up her life and work with a therapist that's going to allow her to create some type of stability for herself and her child. In my opinion, Destiny is very close to hitting rock bottom. That's my opinion based on my observations. And I'm just going to say allegedly. I don't feel like Destiny has been able to leverage the show to catapult her career and her aspirations. And that's okay, because sometimes it's not a good fit, y'all. We can't just place everybody on reality television and expect them to possess the business savvy, to be business savvy, and to be able to move forward in their endeavors. This is not a good fit for Destiny when we look at her overall life. Melody cannot continue to be this girl's storyline. I feel like Destiny is very disingenuous. I really feel like the show has taken a toll on her mental health possibly. And it's really coming across as a very angry, broken woman. She's still riding on the fact that Melody didn't speak, making things up to remain on the show. But when we roll back the clips, it's evident that Melody did speak. Stormy attempted to repair the relationship with her. She's constantly asking other women for money or business favors, and it's very much giving scam likely. Destiny, you can't tell somebody how to bless you, hon. That lady gave you a gift by way of a purse. And when it's a gift, you get what you get. Please stop asking for handouts and getting mad when you don't get what you want. Did y'all see her facial expression when Stormy explained to her why she doesn't take shortcuts in business? The fact that you can't sit there, woman to woman, business owner to business owner, and understand that that's not how her operational flow works. I just think it's time for her to go. Your storyline can't be Melody this season. It's Melody didn't speak to me. 2 years ago, it was Melody didn't want to be in my village. Last year, you made it about Melody taking a break and she texts you opposed to calling you. It's been 3 years. You've had 3 years to get it right, Destiny. I feel like Destiny wants to control the narrative. I feel like Destiny may be very dominant behind the scenes regarding what goes on in her friend groups, her personal, professional relationships, and it's really causing her to fall apart, being that she cannot control the narrative. I said it last week and I'll say it again. She does not understand that her job is to protect the well-being of the show. When it comes to the women, she is a barrier to healing. She's a barrier to collaboration and the efforts of the cast. They're trying to move on. She doesn't want to move on. She needs to go. But let me say this really quick. You remember last week's episode, the big fight? Toward the end, did y'all hear Destiny say something like, y'all are going to get me kicked out. I'm not even in the building yet. Did that mean she does not have a lease? Was she using the store as a storyline? What did that mean? Help me out, y'all. That was very telling to me, that whatever she's trying to place in front of us may be a lie, unfortunately. But I would have more respect for Carlos King if he went ahead and let this lady go. Because otherwise you are allowing her to further destroy herself and dig a hole that she won't be able to crawl out of. I'm moving on to Letitia. In my opinion, Tisha and Destiny share similar qualities when it comes to how they engage and or interact with other women. That's just my opinion. I've seen some similarities, commonalities. Tisha's a bit more savvy, but they both are using the Holtz as storylines. Tisha cannot properly address and or take accountability for anything. Have y'all noticed that? Go back and watch. Pay attention. When it comes to taking accountability, she has to bring up Melody and or Martel. And at this point, it's becoming very exhausting to watch her in scenes or even hear her speak, because we can predict what she's going to say. It's Melody's fault. It's Martel's fault. You try to ruin my family. And Tisha, that's not going to cut it. And it's almost like she's placing herself above reproach when it comes to accountability. What part she plays, what part her mother plays, and all of this saga. Y'all are not going to like what I'm about to say next. So go ahead and adjust your attitudes, because I'm giving you a warning. You're not going to like this. Here it goes. I've noticed that when Marcel is not around Letitia, he actually appears to be a fun guy. I bet he had a time in Africa. Woo, we had a time. But on another note, I really do not think that Marcel and Tisha are equally yoked. I don't think they are compatible. And I hate to say that because they've been together so long, so much history there, but I don't feel like they are equally yoked. I believe that if Marcel could, he would have picked a different woman in hindsight. I actually believe that with the right woman, the woman that he feels that he is more compatible with, he would actually come alive in a very positive way. I know. Yeah. What do y'all think? That's tough. Like that's very tough to say, but that's just based on if I'm giving you how I honestly feel, that's it. But share how you feel in the comments. For some reason, when I watch him, he has this antagonistic approach when dealing with Letitia. And not only when dealing with her, how he handles her. It doesn't give doting husband. It gives irritated, stop talking to me, you don't make sense, and here we go again. It's almost like every time she attempts to come out of the box that he's placed her in, he reminds her to get back in it. Let me transition to the Scotts, the scene at Kimmy's house. By the way, that neighborhood is very beautiful. I don't know if y'all caught it. Very beautiful neighborhood. But Letitia wants Maurice to get involved in her marriage when she's very loud and proud about people ruining her marriage. Imagine that. In the confession, Maurice gave some really good insight. It was brief, but it's important what he said. He said, basically, you know who you married, as if to say, now you know that man don't respect you. You know he doesn't value you as a wife, so why change it now? You've been good with this setup for a long time. Maurice is like, I can't change my brother. It is what it is. Plus, girl, this man took a whole trip to Africa for weeks and left you at home while he traveled as a single man. What can Maurice do to change your household? Because you took your behind, Letitia, on live and you said your man is the boss of your house. So listen to him. He's always trained you to stop talking and be quiet. That's nothing new. I don't understand what she's complaining about. She says she wants him to let her, well, her words were, let me be me. Have you ever been you in this relationship? You should have listened to him. He's the boss. You should have listened to him and you would not have had a fight, a big fight in your home. All you had to do was step back like the boss told you. And like you preach on social media, you told us women that there's nothing wrong with letting the boss be the boss. But you got in trouble because you went against your boss. Deep down inside, she's not really happy with that arrangement. Tisha, you keep crying about how that man treats you and how you're not a slave. We've been trying to tell you that, but you said we're trying to tear up your marriage. Okay, girl. They did confirm in this scene that Martel, oh Lordy, poor Martel. They did confirm in the scene that Martel does not have a builder's license. Child, Martel is just wasting precious time. Well, it sounds like Marcel was able to reel Martel back in. You can see how quickly he made up with Martel, which tells me his excuse last week. Remember, he said, Tisha, listen, I'm asking you to move because if I have to get in it, I'm going to jail. And his excuse was Tisha needed to remove herself from the middle of the argument with Melody because if these walls could talk, I would love to know the deep, dark secrets that lies beneath among these men. There's something there. There's something that these men are keeping secret. What? I do not know. But what I am picking up is they made up with Martel for a reason. Part of that reason is the reunion. I think it's a ploy to keep him in line so that he keeps his mouth shut. The reunion is going to be very interesting and very telling. All right, I'm going to end this with 3 positives. First positive, I think it was a good call from Marcel and Martel regarding Wanda. She needs to go. Second positive, I feel like Martel and Melody have a natural ebb and flow when they're both in a healthy mental space. I really like the energy between the two of them when they're both in a good place. It comes across well, it's solid, it's effective. I'm with Melody. I am not for people coming back, trying to be friends. Had Carlos King course corrected earlier on, this would have been a beautiful thing, but he let it go on too long. And at this point, it is what it is. And everyone would be better off going their separate ways. I think Marcel is putting Martel up to having these conversations with Melody in an effort to save the show. And I think Melody can see that coming a mile away. You're not going to use me again for your success. So, third positive. I feel like Stormy, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they showed her home. She has such a beautiful home. I just want to go there. I want to feed the animals. I want to have a picnic on the grass. I would go there just to decompress and enjoy a nice, positive life with no stress. And this is what Black excellence is about. I would love to get a tour of this home virtually. Somebody tell Stormy that I would love to interview her. I am not a big YouTube channel, but I would love to do a short interview with her about some of the other things that I find very lovely about her. So y'all tell her that Queen Sheba would love to work with her. All right. Thanks for tuning in.